Welcome back. Now that everyone has gotten their EIDL loan, I hope you didn't think I was going to abandon you. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to create a ultimate business plan in 10 minutes or less. Yes, you're not going to want to miss this. I broke it down to about 6 simple steps, and I'm going to give you all that information today. Sorry for the apparel, guys. I'm over here by the pool, but I felt that this video needed to be made before it's too late and you guys spend all that money. So we don't want that. So first, let me start off by telling you guys that this is a business channel. So if you have a business, tell us all about it. Leave it down below in the comments. Give us your website. Tell us if you guys need some support. Whatever we can do to help each other out in this community, we will do. So leave it down below in the comments, guys. Thank you for that. Now, full transparency, I just want to let you guys know that the first few businesses I opened up, I did not have a business plan. And I completely fell on my face. And not until one of my latest endeavors did I put together a business plan. And that's the business that I grew to be, Culture Estate, which, as some of you know, is a real estate network. It's a real estate group. It's a real estate team. It's a lifestyle brand. It's a media company. It's a lot of things all in one. But our main focus when we first started was a real estate brokerage. And we grew our organization to be hundreds of people deep. And if you guys want to know more about joining our organization, I'll leave a link down below. But I couldn't have done it without first crafting a business plan and putting together a strategy and finding out what I was good at, finding out what I wasn't so good at, and finding out what really moved the needle for me and what made money. And then I figured out what I shouldn't be doing. That way I can excel the growth of the company, which is exactly what we did. Now let's start by breaking some of this information down. So in order for you to start step number 1, out of the 6-step process that I have for you, I created a cheat sheet. So it's an Excel sheet where I'm going to allow you guys to basically write down the things that make you money, the things that don't make you money, and then third column is the things you enjoy doing or that you're great at, right? So those are the things we're going to have to break down first, because we want to find out, we want to really first, before we find out how to make money, we want to find out what we're good at doing. We want to be self-aware, we have to do some self-analysis work, and we also have to find out what kind of a niche are we in? What is our business's niche? Is it just a very vague, broad thing? Remember, guys, going wide sometimes is not the best way to make money. Sometimes you got to be really good at something very unique or a very small niche. So let's find out who we cater and what we're going to be doing with our business. All right. So let's figure that part out first. Who is our target audience? Who are the people that we're going to try to influence with our product, our services, whatever it is that we have to offer? Who is our ideal client? If we don't know who our ideal client is, we're not going to know who we're going to be marketing to. We're not going to know who to target. This is also going to help you scale your business, okay? Scaling is the number one priority for any business, because if you can't scale, you'll never be able to take yourself out of the equation, and it's always going to need you to run. If a business needs you to run, it's not a business, guys. It's a glorified job. It's a job where you're going to wear a lot of hats and you're going to be miserable, believe it or not. So in order for you not to get stuck in that trap, once you get your EIDL money, right, you want to make sure that you're going to spend this money with a purpose, all right? You want a purpose is to get yourself out of it so you never have to need a loan from the government ever again. Let me give you an example of what I mean by this, right? Scaling your business. So for instance, let me explain to you. One of our business models is doing coaching. And I'm actually starting to move away from doing coaching, one-on-one coaching, because even though it's profitable, it has its limitations, because I only have a certain amount of hours in a day, days in a week, days in a month. We're all limited to how many hours. But what we're switching towards now is more of a group setting classes. So what we're moving towards is the Patreon model. We have a Patreon page. You may want to check that out, because what we're going to do is for as little as $5 a month, our subscribers are going to be able to jump into live trainings on a weekly basis and really just get all of their business questions answered, and just watch videos that have been catered and tailored to the entrepreneur, the business owner who wants to take their business to the next level. So in order for a company to grow and be scalable, it has to take the time for compensation structure out. And the only way you can do that is by automating things or doing things in a group scale. And that's an example that I'm giving you right now is what I'm doing with my business currently. And this is the same thing you're going to want to do for yourself to make sure that you can scale your model. If your business consists of how many people's hair can you cut in a day, or how many meals can you prepare in a day, though that is not a real business, guys. I'm telling you, that's the job. We're going to have to figure out how to take that business that you're in and make it more scalable. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is by following step number 1. Now let's move on to step number 2. So monthly expenses, you're going to want to figure out how much do I spend right now for my business. And I guarantee you, you're going to find so many things that you're spending your money on that you should not be spending your money on. It happened to us. We were forced to take a look at our expenses because of the pandemic that we all went through. And when we did look at our expenses were insane, guys. I mean, we were spending, at one point, I think at the height of our expenses, we were spending about $62,000 a month to run our organization. Way too much money. We've got that down to, I would say, about a quarter of the expenses that we had before, and we're probably going to be just as profitable, if not more profitable than we were before. We just had to take off a lot of fat, because what happens is when you're really busy, you don't notice things, and you have expenses that get reoccurred, drafted out of your account that you don't really think about. But when you sit back and look at the overall picture, you're spending a ton of money on things you don't need. Okay, so this is going to help you tailor, I should say. This is going to help you tailor a budget so you can make sure that you're consistently profitable, and you're going to be able to track your numbers. Now, you're going to be able to also make the projections that you want for your business, which is really important, because without projections, you don't know what you're shooting for. You don't know if you're succeeding, you don't know if you're failing. So with this in mind, this visual, it's going to help you get closer to where you want to be and where you need to be in order for your business not only to survive, but for your business to be highly, highly successful and profitable. All right, so now let's move on to step number 3. After we figure out where our expenses are and what where we're losing money, or where there's a black hole that's sucking all your money out, we're going to make sure that we clean house. So what I mean by clean house is that we're going to trim some of the fat by getting rid of some of the unproductive people. If the person that works for us, or the people who work for us, are not pulling their weight and they're just causing more expense than necessary than income, because remember, every employee you should have should bring value, or if not create value, one of the two. And if they're not doing that, you need to make sure that you cut them, because by being a nice guy, being a nice girl, if you keep people who are not adding anything to the equation, you're just going to put yourself out of business. All right, so you're not doing anyone a favor at that point, all right, because they're going to lose their job regardless if you don't do this. So make sure you get rid of unproductive employees. The way that I came up with this is because I read a book called Traction, and if you're an entrepreneur and you haven't read this book, Traction, you are missing out big time. I'll leave a link down below in the description section with a link to that book. You need to read that book. In this book, it specifies that you should add a number to each employee. So let's just say I have a sales guy who hits the phones all day long. I need to add numbers to him. So what I mean by that is I want these many phone calls per day. I want these many appointments set per day. I want these many new contracts issued every day or on a weekly basis. Whatever that number needs to be, every person needs to have numbers attached to their production. If you don't have these numbers assigned, then you can't track if they're doing well or not. If it's not measurable, you don't know. You're just hoping because they're giving you, good reports back and saying, oh, we did great today. That's too vague. You can't run your business on vagueness. You need statistics, you need numbers, and you need to know how you can pin one person up against another. The reason why I'm saying that is because let's just say you have 3 salespeople, and they're all great people. How do you know who's your top guy or girl? You don't. You need to make sure that everyone is being tracked somehow. So make sure that you assign a number to every person in your organization, even yourself included. You need to have expectations and numbers for yourself as well. You're going to also apply clear responsibilities and roles to each one of your employees. The best way to do that is by creating an operations manual. Now, I had the pleasure of creating operations manuals for every single person in my organization. I did this because I felt it was necessary, and I also did this again a second time because we started franchising our company. And by franchising, you can't just wing it. When you're handing over when you're giving your new franchisee the keys to the business, it comes along with a step-by-step process. A manual for your whole organization, and within that manual you have operations manuals which tell you what each person in each role has to do clearly with details. Okay, so I had to do this and I'm pretty good at it, so I'll probably end up making a video on that later on, but you need to make sure that you at least get yourself a little Word document or a Google document and you just write down my operations manager, my sales manager, my salespeople, my chef, whatever that person title is, and then break it down 1, 2, 3, 4, what their daily responsibilities are, weekly responsibilities and monthly responsibilities. That way there is no confusion. You give this to them and you say, this is what I expect, and then if you're not receiving what you expect, then hey, it gives you grounds to make sure that you get someone else in that place. Now, step number 4, taking action. This is probably one of my favorite parts, because no matter how much preparation you do, if you don't take action, your plan is never going to work. Easiest way to take action is to extract the things that are in your cheat sheet that I told you about, which make you money, don't make you money, and you enjoy doing. And what I want you to do with that cheat sheet is that everything that makes you money and everything that you enjoy doing, those are your responsibilities now, okay? The things that you don't make you money, the things that don't make you money, and the things that, if they don't make you money and you enjoy doing them, you're still not going to do them, okay? That is, if they make you money but you're not good at it and you don't enjoy doing them, then you're going to have to find a way to immediately delegate that, or bite the bullet and get good at it. You know, one of the other options. I mean, there aren't too many out there, so you're going to have to make sure that you figure that part out. But once we extract those things that you're good at and that make you money, we're going to put those in your calendar. And the reason why I asked you to put them in order from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or however many you're going to put, let's just let this plane go by. Now, the reason I asked you to put them in order is because the thing that makes you the most money is usually the thing that's most important. So you're going to want to put that into your calendar first thing in the morning. So if you start your day at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever time you start, that goes in your first block. So if that means reaching out to clients, previous clients, and getting new accounts and getting new orders in, you do that first. If you need to work on your marketing, you put that second. You know, whatever order you have it in, that's the way it's going to be in your calendar. So make sure that you do that, and then you, at some time in the afternoon, you break for lunch. Once you eat your lunch and you got, you know, something healthy, so you don't go to sleep right after lunch, then after that you can get to your emails, your texts, and you can get to your meetings, things that are necessary but don't necessarily move the needle too much, but are definitely need to get done by you because you're the face of the company. And that's what we're going to do at the end part of our day. Now let's move on to step number 5. Step number 5 would be tracking your numbers on a monthly basis. This is really, really important. So on our wealth calculator that I've given you, which is part of the cheat sheet that I'm talking about on Excel, on this you're going to look at your numbers on a monthly basis. By looking at your numbers, you can track if your business is growing, stagnant, or if it's declining. This is important because we're going to be able to do this every month. At the end of the month, it'll probably take you all but 15-20 minutes to update your numbers, and then you can see where your business is going. All right, so that's step number 5. Now, step number 6, a lot of people, they overlook this, but it's really important. You're going to want to go from good to great. And a lot of times good to great is only separated by 5%. What I mean by that is there's like 95% of the things you're doing right, but there's still 5% of things you could be doing better, which separate just mediocre companies, mediocre people from great and exceptional company and people. Now, the way you do this is by watching the video right here, and it'll show you exactly how to take your business from just being ordinary to being extraordinary. But before you go there, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and share this with a friend. All right, guys, I'll see you over there on the next training. Thank you for watching.